for 22 years. And swimming coaches and baseball coaches are the world's worst at banquets because there is a time or there is a stat for everything under the sun. But I do want to brag on these few young people we have, because swimming in the state of Mississippi is all classifications. It is not broken down into 2A, 3A, 4A. So when they're in the top 12, and these folks are doing a heck of a job. Swimming does not appoint all state, but if you're a finalist, you're considered all state. So virtually every one of our swimmers that went were all state. They've done a great job. Thank you. You go first. A little change in the order. Coach Till wants to get it over with, so.
I promised VR that I'd keep this short, so here's my notes. Girls, y'all come on out. All girls. Laura will be with us in a moment. Here they are. We had an incredible year this year. I'm sure everybody's heard about it. Come on, Laura. This is what I had to put up with all season, right here. I should make her do push-ups. Thanks for coming, Laura. We started off this season way back in July. It was still very steamy and hot, and motivated the girls early on with a promise that we'd have a chance to compete against some of the private schools and compete against Jackson Prep for bragging rights. And the neat thing about that was they beat us. But we used that as motivation. We used that. And that enabled those girls, losing that one meet, to then become the very best. It brought out the best in them. And to me, that's a sign of a true champion, someone who not just rises to an occasion, but can rise after a setback. And this season was marked by winning every invitational we ran against in Mississippi competition all the way through. Aside from that very first meet, but we ended up having a second chance against Jackson Prep. That really wasn't the mark of our season, and I don't want to say that their performance at the state meet marked this season either. At the state meet, 5 of the 7 had personal records on a very hot, steamy day, on a day where they weren't supposed to have records. And that to me showed more courage than anything. It showed more courage to me than winning the state meet itself. Was their ability to get out there and push themselves in all those conditions that we had. I'll start off by talking about our JV season. Our JV girls had a very successful year. They went undefeated in all their meets. It was the first year that we've had such a strong JV program. And letter for her first year out for cross country is Leslie Johns-Ray. This was Leslie John's first year out. She really proved herself and did a fantastic job with things. Congratulations. Very good. And our next letter earner is Courtney Weatherholt. But this is yours. Congratulations. Courtney was out there early on in July and worked herself all the way through, worked very hard, worked through all the, through the hot weather and improved throughout the year, did a fabulous job. And another one, her first year letter, is Amanda Parsons. Amanda comes to us with a big, strong swimming background, so she had very powerful lungs to help her through the first season. And also earning her first year letter this year is Laura Mays. Laura Mays is another one of our hardest workers on the team, always giving it her all and always doing her very best out there. True team player. Now, one of the stars for the future coming up in her first year out this year is Alden Watford. Miss Clark came to me early in the year and said, "Can I have Alden for the swimming state meet?" And she looked really desperate. And I didn't know what kind of runner Alden was going to be. And I thought, well, we're pretty set, so I'd like to have her out to make the compromise. And then as the season went on, she really proved herself to be one of our top runners and will continue to improve. Maybe had I known what she was going to be early on, I might not agree so easily with Ms. Clark. But I'm glad things worked out as it did. She did a great job. She's a good runner and a very good swimmer, and maybe she's going to be an excellent triathlete as well. Now, earning her second year letter is Margaret McGuire. Where's Margaret? Margaret had the tough position of being the first alternate on our state team. And she proved herself by being our number 8 runner and stayed working out with the team for the final couple of weeks in preparation for the state meet. She even showed up at the state meet ready to be put in if there was an injury right there at the site. So she was ready to go and really is a great runner and a great kid. Margaret, we're very proud of you. Great job. Carrie looks like she's hiding Kathy. Kathy, come here. Kathy Southwick had earned her 5th year letter this year. I think it had been 6. Is it 6? It's 5th. She started running cross country for this team as a 6th grader and just has been a huge, huge person on this team all the way through. Now, the unfortunate part about it is that she had some knee problems. And it really hindered her performance, but she wouldn't have known it by talking to her. She never let on. She never complained about it. It was always there and always working and always trying to push herself. She was a motivation factor for the whole team and myself included. And Kathy, I want to wish you the very best in all you do. You are going to be missed on this team. You did a great job this year, and we all love you. Now, Emily Thomas. Step forward, Emily. Emily Thomas earned her 4th year letter this year. Yep. 4th. She lettered in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th, and now in 10th grade. Carrie didn't believe it. And the thing about Emily is a very, very talented athlete. Has all this ability, just raw running speed. And her true gift isn't just in her athleticism, but I would also say her gifts lie within her ability to read and understand and have compassion for her teammates. And I really saw that this year. Not even just her teammates that are out now, but past teammates. She has a real care and passion for them. And Emily's asset like that to the team is something that you can't measure it. The stopwatch can't measure that. But I see it on a daily level. There's one downside to that, and that's sometimes that can wear on you emotionally. And Emily runs with passion and runs with her emotions, and that is her strength. And I want to help you hone that in to make you a fine runner, as you will be, and you are. Great job, Emily. Now, earning her third year letter is Carrie Minnis. Step forward, Carrie. This was the year of boyfriends for a lot of these girls that year. And although they said that Jeffrey was at our meets, I never met him, and she never introduced me to him. Although I asked, she wouldn't do it. Carrie had her best season yet as a sophomore, and that's a wonderful thing, seeing her improve every year like that. And this was her best year, most consistent year out here. Running and kept improving all the way through, and had a really strong, committed attitude towards the whole program. And that has enabled her to become one of the very best runners in the state, with a big PR at the state meet as well. Carrie, very proud of you. Great job this year. Now, for one of the core of the team and second year captain, Catherine Wells. Catherine is a senior, and like Kathy, we're gonna miss her next year. And she has been the backbone of this team. She's been somebody that the girls can turn to and talk to, and it's been a great role model for them. And somebody that I've been able to talk to as well, and I've needed someone to talk to about the girls and trying to figure it out as to how to help them. And she will be missed. She's just got a great attitude. And another wonderful thing about it was, here's a senior who had a PR in her last race. In her last race at Choctaw Trails, and put it together. There she is. Earning her first year letter, Catherine Thomas. About being a teacher now, I am, and teaching 7th grade, is I can get to know the students and get to know them not just on the athletic field, but as a person in the classroom, and watch them interact with their friends. And yes, she's one of our great runners, and she will go on to be one of our very best, I believe. But more important than that is Catherine Thomas is just a really wonderful person. And you see that in the classroom, and you see it everywhere she goes. Very, very proud of this young lady. She stepped up at the state meet and ran beyond herself. Ran and set a PR by many, many seconds. Ran well under 14 minutes, about 13:40, 47? 39, she corrects me, 13:39. There was only, I didn't write the minutes. The only other runner I've known who's done that their first year out as a 7th grader has been Laura Mortimer, who ran about 13:30 in her first state meet. And Catherine is going to be going and develop into one of our greats. Great job, Catherine. You've also earned an award for this season. Your best new runner, Catherine Thomas. We'll get that to her. Now, another one out for her first year out on the team is Leslie Wells. Step forward, Leslie. We all got to see what Leslie could do on the track last year. She stepped up as a 7th grader and did a fabulous job on the track in the 3200. So I was very eager to get her back out into cross country this year. And it took her a few meets to get into the groove to understand what cross country is all about. And I reassured her after this first few meets, you'll get it. You'll understand and you'll get in the groove of it. She did. she went on to become one of our very best, and she hung in there with some great runners and did a fabulous job. She's going to continue to improve, a very natural runner, and awesome person. Leslie Wells earned her first year letter. Great job, Leslie. Now, earning her second year letter this year is Hope Clay. Hope Clay always gives it 100% in anything and everything that she does. We all know that from track, and we saw it again in cross country this year. Hope is a true rock, and not only that, she's again a wonderful person. That's the nicest thing about these kids, is that I'm blessed with coaching some really great kids, and she's another one of them, and will go on to be a great leader for this team as well in time. Hope, I'm very proud of you this year. Great job. And finally, our state champ, Laura Morgan. Morty came into her own this year in running. She has not only just earned her fourth year letter, but she has established herself as one of the premier female distance runners in the state right now. And she ran in a manner of just raw power out there. And I don't think that we have seen the very best in her. I think we'll see her continue to improve. I saw her do workouts this year that absolutely blew my mind. Old school workouts that past runners of mine could never complete. And she was able to get in there and do those workouts. And just a fabulous, gifted runner. And also a great captain of this team. Was a good leader for this team and a good role model for the younger runners and for her peers as well. Morty is our MVP for this year's season. Great job, Morty. I have one more award to give, and that's our Saint Award. And this award goes to a member of this team who I believe is the heart of the team. And this goes to our senior, Catherine Wells. Coach Smith has also given us our patches. I've got them in my room.
Don't tell me.
But I've got these for you here now too. You just have to make sure you get them from me. So we'll get these out here. Why don't you go ahead and pass these out to our top 7 runners. I want to thank a few people too who've been very helpful for this team. The parents have played a big role in helping us get around to meets and helping us set up and having everyone over for their houses. I want to thank Carl and Judy. They've always been there for us whenever we've needed them and gone beyond themselves. And I want to thank everybody who's helped out with our cross-country meet, helped it become the success that it was. So thank you all for a great season. I want to thank these girls for being great runners and doing such a good job. Thank you.
We have one more thing. Okay, well, yesterday I went by Broad Street and I consulted Carrie on the most appropriate token of our affection, because Coach Jill has been such a great coach this year, and for all 4 years, he's really been an inspiration for me and for everybody, I'm sure. And so Well, we went and, a couple times we met at Coach Till's house, and afterwards we got hungry, and he had about one power bar and a thing of powdered Gatorade. So we got him a $25 gift certificate to Kroger. And
More power bars.
yeah, okay. No. And we also know his passion for sushi, so we got him a $50 gift certificate to Little Tokyo. Thanks, Coach Joe.
Thank you, ladies, and congratulations again for John. Andy didn't even mention how many this is in a row and how many we have to go. And we need, what, 4 more? We need 4 more. We have 1 senior, that's all that's out there, so I see no reason why we shouldn't win 4 more, right? Great effort. Super job. And another one that's on a streak, boys cross country, and Coach John Applegate.
Thank you, Billy Red. Come on out, fellas. Well, I want to say it's been a very enjoyable year with our cross country. It's so much fun to run with these guys in the afternoon. After teaching all day, I really look forward to 3:15 and the end of school and getting out and working with these fellows. You wouldn't think running 5, 6, 7 miles in the Mississippi heat would be fun, but it really is with these guys. And they, not only in the cross country, but they do it all. In school, these guys are doing well and just in every phase of their life, and it's so much fun to work with them. And the parents are really a large part. You're looking at the product of some good work on your part, and I thank you very much. It's a pleasure every afternoon to go out with these guys and run with them. We had another fine season. I really, it just seems I wish cross country really wouldn't end. It's so much fun to come out in the afternoon and run, and I miss that. That sort of routine that I go through, and I'm really sad that cross country ends every November. I wish it could keep going. This year we had a great season, culminating with a state championship. But again, it's what makes the season great is not necessarily the wins and losses, but really the day in, day out practice, the stuff that most people don't see except for us, Monday through Friday, every day, doing what we do. That's what makes the season just super. And again, these guys come to the forefront and do that. Starting off the talk about the fellows, I'll start with our 7th grade group. Come on up, guys.
Yes, 7th grade.
And I thank him for everything that he's done. He really helps me out, both with ideas. We trade ideas back and forth and so on. And with Coach Till in the middle school, it's like and Coach Till doing the track, it's really great because the reason these guys are standing here, it's not because of me. They don't know me from Adam when they start the season, but it really is Andy Till getting them out and getting cross country at the forefront of their minds, and I really thank them. We have a great 8th grade group as well, which we'll get to in a second. The 7th graders are the core. They started out, and it's hard for them right at first. It's tough with cross country being a varsity sport that really traditionally has been from 9 through 12 as the guys who actually compete at the state meet and so on. But these guys start out and they have a couple hard years of going before they really get in the groove and figure out, hey, this is how we do things. But these guys are ahead of the curve, and they really are a super group, and they've stuck together all through the year. First is, let's see, Cade Crook. Thank you very much for running, Cade. And another fellow that came out for the first year, Daniel Perry. He'll be a good runner in the future along with Cade. Robert Winkleman also came out. He came out partway through the season. I was a little worried about it, but he seemed to fit in. And after a little bit of injury right from the start, he got in the groove and did a good job for us. Robert? And finally, the guy that really seemed to lead the group was Ben Johnson. He just loved it. He always had a smile on his face, and he's very competitive. He said, I want to be the fastest 7th grader, and he certainly was. Did a superb job, especially at the Madison Central meet. Each meet, he ran faster than the meet before. Okay, our core of 8th graders, every guy that was, they're not all here tonight, but every guy that started in 7th grade last year continued with cross country this year. And some of them did just a tremendous job for us and getting us, being a part of the team. Alan Parker, he's not here tonight, but also a couple of the other fellows that are here did very well, some earning letters in the 8th grade, which was great. First, Thomas Cabot. Thomas is going to be a superb runner. He really has drive and desire. He was hampered a little bit by a little bit of injury toward the end of the season, but at the very beginning, he was our fastest guy. Okay. Earning a letter this year, running under 7-minute miles, was Hal Flowers, and he's generally the guy that keeps William Drinkwater under control. Well, I don't know if he did that this year. We'll find out. His running buddy really is Scott Halterman. Together, they did a great accomplishment. And one of my old lettering standards was to try and get under 7-minute miles, about a 21:40 for a 5K. And both those guys did it, and they pushed each other on. All right, let's see. In the upper schools, I was had my advisees at the very start of the year, and I was looking around and said, some of you guys ought to do some stuff for the school. You're here during the school day. How about, thinking about competing in sports? And there was one impressionable lad in the group, and his mind was soft and malleable, and I managed to convert him over to cross country, Mark Freeland. And he had a tough time running at first, got a little injury, but really made a good job of it at the end. And ran for us in the St. Andrews meet and the Madison Central meet. Mark? All right, let's see. All right, let me keep the rest of the guys from the top 9 on stage. Thanks, sirs. The top 9 fellows that you see here continue the season. We had kind of a funny October. Usually October is our solid racing season. Some of it got wrecked up. The first meet ever that was canceled that I know of was the Madison or the Mississippi College meet. And for as long as I've been running cross country here at St. Andrews for 14 years, 15 years, something like that, we've never had a meet canceled due to weather. And it was a horrible October weekend, so it really cut a hole in our season right in the early part of October. But these are the guys that ran for us all the way through and competing for spots for the state championship. Making the top 9, but not the top 7, but nevertheless finishing tremendously for the season was Douglas McCrae. And it's the guys like Douglas and Alan Parker, who isn't here, which really causes the top 7 to really excel, because these guys are pushing them for the spots. But Douglas's best effort was his last effort at, he couldn't run during the state meet, not due to any injury, but simply due to the fact that, he didn't make the top 7. But he did run at a Millsaps meet, and one of the great goals that you always try and do when you start out running is to make various accomplishments. One of the big accomplishments is to make it under 20 minutes. And Douglas has been trying for that for a couple of years now, and he finally hit it on the last meet, and I was really pleased for him. It was the day of state, so he ran under 20 minutes like a 1952, 1954, something like that, and came to the state meet with that triumph under his belt. The rest of the fellows on the stage were the top 7, and they were all one of the few times, I think, that both the entire girls team and the entire boys team made the all-state team. So all members of cross country. And that was pretty neat. I mean, they only take the top 14 out of all races, and these guys, the top 7, all made that. Congratulations on that, fellas. All right. First, we had a couple freshmen new to the team, and they were, again, I want to thank Andy Till. Without Andy Till, these guys may not have decided to come out for cross country. They both came out for track last year. And I'm mighty glad they did, because they got enough out of that to decide, hey, let's take a look at cross country as well. And without them, we would have been a much weaker team, and also not as much fun. Both Andy and Nathan were great for us. Andy, probably tell a little funny story on Andy, that he came to the meet, kept looking at his shoes all year. Hey, he needs some new shoes, And of course, he ran in his old ones. Finally, at the last meet in the season, he shows up with brand spanking new shoes on, never worn them before. He's late for the meet, and I'm, what's going on here? Well, my dad drove off with my shoes, and I don't have them in the car. So I offered him my socks, but he didn't seem to like those too much. But, Andy, it was good to have you. Another fine runner, we always look for a guy every year that'll come out of nowhere and really run some fast times for us. And this year was Nathan McClarty. He just blazed some trails for us. Early on, I didn't anticipate, he was our number 3 runner in some of the earlier races. Ran his times right around 6-minute miles and under, and did a tremendous job. He could always be seen by his, I'm a caveman, what is that t-shirt that you wear? Yeah, I'm a caveman. And of course, he doesn't really need a t-shirt to demonstrate that fact. Coming up for us this year, I'll start with Matthew. Matthew Van Lanningham was, as a junior this year, I was really looking forward to him coming back from his sophomore year. He'd been working out a lot of the summer, bigger, stronger, faster, and he really was this year. And even better is that he had struggled early on with some sort of mediocre times, but pushed through that toward the end of the season and really led that group, I think, especially with Nathan, really led Nathan on to faster times. The two of them really bumped each other down in times. And I think Matthew will be a real leader for us next year in his senior year. He made great accomplishments this year. Our 2 seniors, I'm really sorry to see both Charles Young and Eli Lazarus go. They've been running for me ever since they were freshmen. Starting with Charles. Charles last year made the team for the first time, and that was wonderful. Made the top 7 for the first time, and that was wonderful. But he was kind of left out because there's all these levels that you try and get to, and one of the levels that you try and get to is be the top, not only in the top 7, but when you're in the state competition, become all-state as well. And so, out of the 7 guys that made all-state, or 7 guys that ran in the state competition last year, only 6 made all-state. Charles was the odd man out. He didn't have such a hot race at state. But this year he did, and he made all-state, and that was a great thing for him. He was our number 5 runner, and to be a number 5 runner, you count. In other words, you're part of the total for St. Andrews of the score. Yeah, score, so part of the score. And so that's another thing that was really neat. And I'll really miss Chuck. He's so enthusiastic. He's a wonderful guy. He's funny. I loved teaching him last year in physics, and I wish I had him again this year as a student as well as a runner. Eli Lazarus, he's pretty sharp. He didn't know the word natty. I think he said he thought I said nasty, but I said, hey, Eli, you look pretty natty today, as opposed to Charles. And natty was a new word, but Eli didn't always look natty. Eli's a frequent forgetter, and one of the things he forgot was his running apparel one day, and so we have a kind of a team thing where you have to put on these pair of pink shorts. They're not overly manly and they're very short. And Eli had on these pink shorts one day running, and that's kind of a normal occurrence for Eli, and the team really didn't note it. And Eli's gotten pretty used to him over the years, having forgot his equipment a number of times. And so he gets in and drives off from the meet, and I-55 has become dangerous lately. And on the entrance ramp, Eli got into a slight fender bender. And Eli gets out of his car, normal, fender bender, shows the guy his light, the guy kind of backs up. I'll make my call, please, from the cell phone in my car, kid. You don't need to be around me. And Eli looked down, and well, you know the rest. So, but it's a great story, and that could only happen to Eli, and he takes it well. He dishes out humor, but he's also a good receiver of it. But I'm going to really miss Eli. Again, I taught him last year in physics, and he's as wonderful a student as he is a runner, and he's a fine person. Well, our most valuable runner is Mr. William Drinkwater. As you know, he's won every race for us probably since the middle of his 8th grade year. William is he's great. He really is. He drives so hard. He's such a hard worker, both in practice and in the races. He's as fast at times as he's run. You'd think it'd be so hard to achieve that every time. I mean, running as fast as he does, it's just unbelievable he does. And all his times are always clustered pretty close. I mean, he never, like some runners will have a bad race and they'll have an off race and say, oh, well, that's okay, you ran a minute slower than you did before. William's never like that. It's always go blast it out right from the beginning. And in all his races, he's like that. And all these guys, by the way, did set PRs for themselves. William did this year, and his fastest time, there were really 2 accomplishments. One was running a 16:18 at our St. Andrews Invitational, and the other accomplishment was setting a new record for himself at Choctaw Trails, where it really counts where you have the comparisons of year after year, and he ran a 16:35 in one of our meets there, the Pacific College Invitational, got rescheduled. But more than that, I think William I think the guys really look up to him in part for those accomplishments. To actually run that fast, to be able to run that fast is really a dream that these guys really would love to have. And William, in a way, has that dream. He can do that. And he's probably next year, he's always one of the fastest. And next year, he definitely has the potential to become the fastest runner in the state, winning the state championship for now the 3rd time in a row. He's definitely going to do it the 4th. And it's just going to be interesting to see how fast he can really get William Drinkwater MVP. Finally, that leaves Andrew Harrison as captain, and I can think of no finer captain than I've ever had. We lost a lot through senior leadership last year. Clayton Coker and Jonathan Harris, all those guys were great, and the whole senior class was just a number of them, 7 or 8 guys, and each one of them was a good leader in of themselves. And Andrew really, as we graduated all those guys, there's a big hole up top, And Andrew, as solo captain, really filled that. He did a heck of a job for me. He would set, it's more, the captain gets into the routine of sort of stretching every day and kind of leads the stretches out. And that's almost, a captain can be only that, just sort of a person that says, okay, let's do 20 sit-ups. But Andrew, obviously did much, much more. And he set the workouts, basically. He'd set up 90% of the workouts for me. For the team, and I'd throw in my 10% every so often and say, hey, let's do something a little bit different. But communication with Andrew is always great, and he did just a great job as a leader, both for helping me out in a lot of ways and also helping his team along, which is even more important. And personally, he ran extremely fast times, way down in the 17, 15, I think was his PR for the season, set at the St. Andrews Invitational. And I think that the junior class this year of Andrew and William and Matthew can really set a new standard next year as seniors. It'll be really fun to see what happens, because I think the cross-country team will really blaze out next year. But I want to thank you very much. Well, actually, you got Andrew's, presented. Thank you very much for the evening, and I hope we can do it again next year, do the same thing. Thank you.
Out of our top runners, certain ones go off campus to do their workouts for long runs, and a majority of us have taken or are enrolled in calculus right now, and it was always a fun thing to discuss what calculus we had done that day. And Coach would always join in with his 10 cents. And
I remember to mention these guys are all nerds as well.
And to commemorate his nerdiness with us, we have a book for him, Forgotten Calculus. Everything he ever knew he has forgotten. But also we have for him $50 to Bravo, which he hopefully will take with his wife. She's been a great supporter of the teams, taking pictures for us often. So thanks to Coach and his wife.
Coach Applegate has some stats for you runners. Well, that's it for another year with our cross-country and swimming. We certainly look forward to next year as we get closer and closer and closer to the state record for the most boys and girls consecutive, as well as the most boys and girls total state championships. All of it's within our reach. You've done a wonderful job. My thanks go out to the few seniors that we have and what you've done for us and your leadership. You will be very much missed. You have set a big standard already that the kids behind you are simply going to reach for. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming tonight. Have a safe trip home. See you next time.